In this video is we're going to talk about how to work with photos that are already in a DiscoverLife album, specifically how to change the group ranking, or there's some other names for it, but basically how pictures are displayed on a species page and in what order they're displayed. So you'll see as we talk through the system that each photo is given a number. It starts with -9 when it's uploaded, which means don't show this photo, just as a safety precaution. And then you can change it to different things. And so if you give it a 9, for example, here in this listing, what's going to happen is that photo will go to the top. And if you have several things that have been given 9s, they may end up in, it's a little bit difficult to say whether it's in alphabetical order or not, but in general, those are going to be on the top. The next level down, and those would be what we want to see up there, are the best resolution, the high resolution, full specimen images, habitus shots of head, lateral, and dorsal parts of the males and the females. The second level would be lower quality, basically, but showing the same sorts of things, maybe shots from museums, but still showing the overall habitus of the species. And then the level 5 would be trait close-ups. So these would be pictures of things like the label process, pitting on the scutum. There's a whole variety of things, but it basically is only showing part of the being. And then the last category and the lowest on the species page would be 3, and those are going to be field photos. So those are things that you might have taken out in the field or someone else did and you had permission to upload them. And what you're going to see are, this is what it looks like when you're out and about, and it's a good gestalt for people who are doing field work. So this is something to keep in mind because you'll want everyone to kind of assign their photos these numbers. And now we'll go into the system and show how that gets assigned. Now I need to go, I guess, set up a new window. I'm going to go to DiscoverLife, discoverlife.org. In here, I'm going to click on Albums. I'm going to click on D for Drogi. That's how it was set up originally. There's 2. The second one is moth photos. We want the first one, and we want to not click on the name, which will just go to the albums themselves. We want to be able to edit them, so we're going to click the Edit button. Up here, we're going to put in a name, your name. In this particular case, it's not very critical, but there does have to be a 2-part name, or as I found out, it will not work. Then you can use our USGS number or our Yahoo number for an email. And then the password you'll get from me. I'm not going to show it here. And oops, and then something like that will happen if you give the wrong password, which now I'm remembering the right password. Cannot really do 2 things at once. If it works correctly, you'll see saved at the top in red, and this system shows up. So what we're looking at is a series of photos. I'm going to click to the last one. I could also have browsed through them to find them. I can use the finding feature. If we do browse, you can see at the very bottom a listing. Go back to the bottom to load correctly. So these are all the numbers. So these are groups of 100. So 0 to 99, 100 to 199, and so forth up to the most recent ones here. And so we can just click on that and get to the last batch. I could go all the way back down. It's showing you the photos because basically we're just browsing. I can go back and get into that editing system by clicking edit on any of the pictures. So now I'm in. Here's the last photo. Here's our format again, genus, species, comma. After that, again, you can put in anything you like. We usually do the gender and then something about the picture and the location of the picture and maybe even the collector. And This other information is available to be added. A lot of times people put in a copyright information of some kind, but we really try not to put any restrictions on the use of the photo. Usually everything is just given a public domain category. So, so anything can be changed in here. We're just going to concentrate on the thing that people change the most, which is the code. So this is coded as a 7. I'm going to change it to a 5. So you can see that that's a pretty straightforward operation. I just hit enter because I was in this part of the frame on the computer. I could have also hit submit button. If I was over on this side, then I would be clicking that submit button, which we really don't want to do right now. I can also change this to any number using the pull down. If you look at these pull downs, you'll see a variety of things, 1 to 10, 1 to 9, species page stuff, 9 being top of the page, 1 being the very bottom, and a lot more options than we gave you before. Then there's genus page, pictures can be added. And then these negatives are basically things that are not going to show up anywhere. I'm not sure even what those mean. And recall that when you first I'm going to hit submit, and that should now change this to 4 as it does. And I'm going to change this back to a 7 as it was in the beginning. So keeping in mind what the quality of the picture is, that seems to be basically not a great shot, but a good museum shot. So we're going to give it a 7. And now you can go through picture by picture and make these changes, but sometimes, and it might be this coding, and it might be some other feature in here, you want to change a whole bunch of them at once. So the way you do that is you have to establish one picture as a template. So we're going to set this one as a template. And we see here, here's the picture for 19807, the very last picture in the system, it turns out. And here it says template and gives you the number 19807. And so that confirms that that's the one you're going to use. Here's the information from 19807. And we're going to try and, in this particular case, translate the information about the grade number, the ranking here of 7 to a series of other photos. Unless there's some trick I'm missing, you can only do this to adjacent pictures. Now, if we go next, that doesn't exist because there's no photos there. This is the last one. So in this particular case, we're going to go up range several times. You can see that just didn't load. I think we're clicking too fast, but it's now giving you a range of picture numbers, including the original 19807 template. And it's saying, okay, we're going to be playing with a range. If we click on this, we're going to click on it. Now we're working with 19807, the original template, and to 19802. And I'm going to say change everything to 7. They already are 7, so we're really not going to make any significant change here. But if I were to do that, it now has applied 7 to everything. I guess saved, rather than redoing this with some different number and then having to undo it. We'll just have to basically trust the workflow here, and then that would have changed a whole bunch of things. So you can do that. Be aware that you're making these big global changes. So when you start messing around, be really careful about what you're messing around with. Don't click like change all pictures or anything like that. You want to work with the ID range and take your time. Don't let your undergraduate do this because they're too clicky. So I think that's it. I'm going to say we're done, Claire. So maybe that's the end.